Well, hello, and welcome to a brand new series from Graceful Parenting. I'm Amy Hayes, your host and guide, and today we're talking about the one thing that every child needs to succeed in every aspect of his life, from relationships to personal endeavors to even to his relationship with God. And this one thing is so powerful, I call it the rocket fuel of parenting. What is this one thing? Well, the one thing that every child comes into the world craving and can only get from his parents is parental approval. Contrary to popular belief, your children are not out to drive you crazy. In fact, the truth is that children crave this approval so much, they'll go to great lengths to receive it. And that's why they run to you to show you their scribbled drawing or want you to come see their Lego tower they built or ride their bike. They want your stamp of approval. But what is approval? Well, Webster's dictionary defines approval as the belief that something or someone is good or acceptable. Now, you may be thinking of all the things your child does that are not good and acceptable, but the approval I'm talking about is towards who your child is, not what he does. Your child is inherently good and acceptable, regardless of what he does. How do we know this? Well, we know each and every person is good and acceptable to God because of how he sees us. It was while we were yet sinners that God saw enough value in us that he gave his only son to die for us so that he could have us for his own. He didn't wait till we acted good to give his stamp of approval. He saw the value in us in spite of how we were behaving. So showing approval to your child communicates this inherent value, the value that God sees in him. And remember the definition? It's the belief in the good and acceptable qualities of someone or something. So it's easy to believe what you can see, but it takes faith to believe what you can't see. So even when our kids are acting like little sinners, we know by faith that isn't who they really are. That isn't who God made them to be. Therefore, you can show approval even when your child's acting poorly. Now, I'm not saying to approve of your child's unacceptable behavior, but by looking past the facts of his behavior to the truth of who he really is in Christ, you can show approval even in the midst of poor behavior. And actually, you can change your child's behavior by showing approval of who he really is, but that's a subject for another day. For now, you can be sure that the more you value and communicate to your child that he has value, the more value he will see in himself, and the more his behavior will line up with that value. So keep watching this series to learn more about approval and how you can communicate it to your child. In the next video, we'll look at why showing approval protects your child from all sorts of evil all throughout his life. I'll see you then.